figures or data related to the information related to the finance department, isn't it? Which would yield benefits in the future. It is not for this particular instance of time. HR information system is going to handle is the manpower planning. So they may be competent but not experienced in that position. What we have to do is hello students, welcome to the next session of Management Information System. I am Dr. Soumyashri from Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, first grade college. Let's welcome you all to this session. In this session, the concept that we are going to be familiar with is the financial information system. With the last session, it was all about the transaction processing system, isn't it? Now this session is all about the financial information system. Like, what is it? What is the use of it? How does it is going to handle the information system? Like concepts about the financial information system. Let's start with the session. The first thing we need to know is what is a financial information system. Okay, so the definition says that it is a subsystem. Okay, it is not an independent system. It is a subsystem of the organization's management information system. It is included in the MIS. It is not an independent one, but is included in the management information system. Okay, the subsystem, what it does is it supports the decision making process. So what is the main thing of or main task of information system is to assist in decision making for a businessman or for the top level management or for the managers, isn't it? So the financial information system supports the decision making process of the financial functions. Decision making based on the financial results at the top level of an organization. Over the financial related decisions, the most of the decisions in an organization will be taken by the top level management, isn't it? For top level management, we need to have the figures or data related to the information related to the finance department, isn't it? So for that purpose, the financial information system assists the top level of management or top level of organization in decision making. The brief description of each of the financial decision that a financial manager has to take. What are the prime decisions that a financial manager is going to take? That is, the financial manager, what are the roles by the financial manager are the capital budgeting decision. So capital budgeting decision, as we know, is the decision is the funds that are allocated to long-term asset. Which is the long-term asset is the investment on the machineries, isn't it? Or machineries or buildings or employees. These are long-term funds, isn't it? Long-term assets. The capital budgeting decision is the decision funds are allocated to long-term asset, which would yield benefits in the future. It is not for this particular instance of time, but is planned for the future. For example, funds allocated for the land or the building or machinery, all these involves the long-term asset, isn't it? So these involve how much has to be spent on these long-term assets will be the decision must be taken by a financial manager. Okay, so the financial decision must be taken. The financial manager has to decide about the proportion of equity and debt capital. So how much has to be investment on the long-term assets and the equity and the debt capital, how much has to be invested, must be decided by the financial manager, which is assisted by the financial information system, and is about dividend decision. So this decision relates to the dividend policy of the organization. What is the dividend must be given, and all those related dividend related decisions will be taken by the financial manager. The next thing that can be done is a decision whether the organization should distribute all profits or gain or retain them. What are the profits received must be kept with us, or distribute a portion and retain the balance, retain everything, or distribute some part of the profit and keep the balance, has to be taken by the financial managers only. So they have to decide how much has to be contributed to the shareholders. So that must be decided by the financial managers, whether the profit must be retained with the organization or part of the profit has to be distributed to the shareholders and kept the balance. So this decision has to be taken by the financial manager. Along with that, the current asset management. Who is going to do the current asset management? In order to safeguard the organization against liquidity or insolvency, to avoid the organization going through bankruptcy or liquidity, must be avoided by the financial manager by managing the assets in the organization. So current assets of the organization, shares, debentures, debts, all these things, current assets and liabilities of the organization are also required to be efficiently managed. What is the amount of the current asset? What is the liability? And managing the assets and the liability so that the organization will not reach the liquidity or the bankruptcy must be managed by the financial managers only, because all these conditions depend on the financial condition of the organization, isn't it? So who is going to decide all these things? Again, is the financial manager. Apart from that, the long-term asset management, the current asset management, along with the decision about the shares and the debentures must also be taken by the financial manager. Who is going to assist the financial manager in all these things is nothing but the financial information system. It gives the insight of the assets, liabilities and other state of the organization, financial state of the organization, and helps in taking a decision over these kinds of complex issues. All right. So the next information system that we are going to study is the Human Resource Information System, or HR information system. So this is all about the human resource. Okay. This functional information system, the HR information system, is supporting the functions of human resource management. It is all about human resource management present in an organization. Okay. The function of the HR information system involves the manpower planning. How does the manpower can be utilized? It is about deciding the present and future needs of the manpower. What is the problem of the human resource present in the organization? What are the benefits that are given to the human resource or employees of the organization? Or what else they want from the organization? What is the expectation of the employees from the organization? The department may not be able to fulfill everything, but some of the issues can be answered by the grievances, and problems can be answered by the HR information system. Okay. So the one thing that HR information system is going to handle is the manpower planning. How does to decide the present and future needs of the manpower which is in the organization. Apart from that, we have staffing. Staffing involves the recruitment of the new employees or promoting the current employees to the higher position. Selection, selecting a suitable candidate, and placement of the employees. Not only selecting the suitable employees, but giving them suitable responsibilities in the relevant department. Okay. Recruitment refers to the attracting the qualified and competent people. We don't need only qualified. We don't need only competent. We need both qualified and competent persons, isn't it? For different job designations. Like one person may have the qualification but not the relevant experience. Somebody may have the relevant experience but not exactly the qualification they need. Then what has the HR information system or the HR department has to do is, the decision must be taken on whether this person is suitable for the job or not, whether he has the qualified, whether he is qualified for that particular person, whether he is competent as well. So this has to be taken care by the HR department. The HR department will be assisted by the human resource or HR information system. Okay. Along with that, it has the responsibility of the training and the development. Okay. So why do we need training and development? Need to train and develop the employees is important because there will be a gap between the job requirement and competence of the employee. He may be competent but may have worked in some other department. Suppose I am hiring an employee for a production department and he may be experienced in sales department. Now he has applied for the job in production department. Now what I have to look is whether he has the qualification and competence. And if the HR managers feel that he is qualified but he needs some training to become competent in that particular field. He is competent in some other field. But can he be able to compete with the others, or can he be able to become competitive or can have competence in this particular job will be decided by the HR manager. So what he needs is, if we can't take experienced and qualified people for every post. Some posts may need freshers who are not yet experienced. Now what we have to do is, if you get a mold or if you get a soil, what we have to do is we have to shape the soil so that it will come to a particular ideal shape, isn't it? So what does the training and development do is, there may be a gap between the requirement of the job. What is the qualification and competence needed by that particular job category or particular position may not be there in the person. Once he gets trained, he may become fit for that position. So there may be gap between the requirement of that position and competence of the employee. To bridge this gap or to remove this gap, we need a proper training to the employee, okay, who is newly recruited. Another need of the training and development is the need to develop lower level managers. They need to be promoted to the next level, isn't it? So they may be competent but not experienced in that position. What we have to do is to assume higher level responsibility by low level managers when there is a requirement. A manager in the higher position may have left the organization. Now, instead of taking someone else from the outside, what we can decide is to promote the low-level managers to that position. The low-level manager is competable, has competence and qualification for that lower level, but he may not be having relevant competency for the high level position. Then what we can make is, we can bridge this gap between his competency and the higher position with the help of a proper training and development programs. So this will fill up the gap between the job requirement and the competence of the employee. Okay. For these things, we need the training and development for the human resource in the organization. The next responsibility or functioning of the HR information system or HR department is the evaluation of the performance. This is the main thing in the HR department, okay, or HR system. This task is concerned with evaluating each employee in the organization. Well, how is his performance at work, whether he is having the competence, he is competitive with the other employees of the same position, whether he is working according to what he is getting as a payroll. So according to payroll, is he working? Is he showing his performance in his position in terms of the predetermined standards and norms? Who is going to how we are going to decide whether he has reached the goal, he is competent enough for that position is with the predetermined standards and norms. It will be set by the top level management about the standards and the norms of deciding whether the employee is compatible or not, having competence or not, will be decided by the standards and norms. This is another task of the human resource department, to get the evaluation of performance of each of the employee. The evaluation or performance appraisal, this is a well-known term what we can hear in every employee of the or all the employees of different organization. So at the end of an year, there will be a performance appraisal or evaluation of individual employees, which includes the formulation of performance appraisal plans. There will be parameters that will be set to calculate the performance of the employee, along with some of the development of the appraisal techniques. There will be some appraisal techniques which can be applied to get the performance or to measure the performance of the human resource in the organization. And along with that, it is having several programs and parameters which must be provided by the employees. Information related to those parameters must be given by the employees. Based on that, the HR department and the managers of the corresponding department will sit together to decide the performance level of the employee, which can be rated in the appraisal. So there will be a report given on each of the employee about the performance of the individual employee. Okay. The next thing that the human resource department is going to do is the separation activities. What does this will do is, the employee and the employer relationship will be important with the development of an organization. If you have a good relationship between the employer and the employee, it will be beneficial for both of them, isn't it? For the employee as well as the employer. It may come to an end due to the resignation of an employee. An employee may give the resignation abruptly without any prior notice, or he may give the resignation with prior notice, or layoff. The employer himself may leave the employee from the organization, from his position, or maybe death of an employee or employer, or the retirement of an employee. The relationship between the employee and the employer may come to an end with these conditions, by the resignation, layoff, death or retirement. The HR department or the HR field, besides the above mentioned functions, apart from these functions, is also responsible for the wages and salary administration, fixing what is the particular salary given for an employee, or sustaining and maintaining the workforce. The employer will expect that HR must maintain the balance between the job requirement and the employees. He won't expect, or the employer will not expect too many employees when compared to the less number of jobs, or too much number of jobs and very less employees. So there must be balance between the job requirements and the employee population or human resource population. Okay, so there must be maintaining the workforce in the organization. There must be a balance between the workforce and the job requirement, and maintaining of healthy and peaceful labor and management relationship. There must be healthy and peaceful and contented relationship between the employer and the employee. So this relationship will be built by the HR department. Okay, it contains 3 function flow of human resource information system. What is the function flow is? First is the transaction data. Okay, the transaction data is a basis for various types of output information. So how do we get the information is from the HR department. How to analyze these HR or the performance of the employees will be done by the HR department. Transaction, recording the transaction. The data includes the number of employees in the organization, employee number, name, qualification, experience, joining date, designation. All these details will be considered as a transaction by the HR information system, where transaction is not about sales and purchase. In case of HR information system, so transaction are the data included about the employee details, the analysis of the salaries, the payroll, about the leaves taken, leaves remaining, what are the extra benefits like medical bill, all those calculations will be considered as a transaction in HR information system. Then categories and grades of posting and daily performance. What is his designation and what is performance related to that designation, whether he is performing according to that designation or he working less, his performance is less with the designation. Is his performance is as par with the designation will be decided in the, or will be included in the transaction data of the human resource information system. The next data that the information system is going to collect is the environmental data. What does this data contains is the data about the availability of the person, about designation, trends in the labor force, what does the labor or the employee community thinks about the current policies and plans, the competition between the employees of the same designation, market offering, what does that designation payroll must be, how to fix the payroll for a particular position will be collected by the HR department, marketing offering to the employees, and different government and labor laws fixed by the government for the organization. So all these things related to the environment of the organization will be collected by the HR information system. Okay. The next is the organizational plans. What does organization thinks about the employees? Provide an important input in human resource information related. What are the plans and strategies about the employees? What are the benefits they are giving? What are the responsibilities the organization is going to give for a particular designation or for a particular position? What are the accountability of the employee towards the employer? And what are the rights of the employee from the employer? All these things will be given in the organizational plans. Along with that, there will be an information system on the basis of which future planning will be done, like recruitment, job assignment, etc. will be done based on the organizational plans. These are all the information that are stored in the HR information system. Okay. The next comes is the accounting information system. So we have financial information system, transaction processing system, then we have the human resource information system, then we have the accounting information system. Now what does this accounting information system will do? It is similar to the financial information system, but the task or the functions the accounting IS will do is different from that of financial IS. Let's check what are the functionalities of the accounting IS or accounting information system. The accounting information system can be defined as the part of the MIS. It is a subsystem of the MIS. The information system or the accounting information system process a mixture of quantitative and qualitative data about the accounting information system or about the accounting details of the organization, and the main concentration or main focus is on the quantitative data in the organization. The accounting system information system must work together for getting a better output of the organization or better implementation of the organization's plans and the strategies. So the accounting information system provide efficient delivery of information. What kind of information they need? The information are needed to perform necessary accounting work. Accounting related work will be assisted by the accounting IS, and it also assists in delivery of accurate and informative data. So related to finance and accounting, they need the accurate data, not the jargoned data or the data which are scrambled. They need accurate data, unambiguous data to the end users of the system, and it must provide the information to known employees or known users as well as the users which are not much familiar with the accounting and finance reporting areas. They know about the calculations, but they don't know about the end reporting in the information system or in the computers. So this accounting IS must assist in getting the reporting by the employees who are not much familiar with the operation in the computers or handling of the computers. The high value of data processing characterizes these applications. We need the data processing characteristic of an information system to gather and process the data in the accounting department. The data processing in accounting IS consists of 4 major tasks, like as we said, it is data gathering, data manipulation, data storage, and document preparation, as we said in the previous sessions. So what are the characteristics of the accounting information system? If you look at the characteristic, the first thing is performing the necessary task related to accounting department. Then the next characteristic is it must adhere to the standardized procedures of performing the accounting related calculations. The next characteristic of the accounting information system is it has to handle the detailed information or a detailed data collected from various internal and external sources. Then it has to focus on the historical data, that is the records that are stored in the repository or in the server must be taken care by the accounting information system, information related to the accounts department. Then it must provide minimal problem solving information, the information needed to solve a critical problem in the organization related to the accounts must be assisted by the accounting information system. The next thing is, how do we get the information for the accounting IS? What are the sources of the accounting information system? The first source is the procedure manual. The manual will be given, or a fixed procedure will be given about how to organize the data in an accounting information system, like profit and losses, debentures, dividends, all those details must be stored in the accounting information system. Now we have to have a manual or written document or some directions, some document directing or giving the procedures to enter or store the data and how to process the data in the accounting information system. Apart from that, the next source that we can get the data is the management accounts or the balance sheets, okay, about the profit and loss in an organization. Then we have the financial data related to the state of the financial condition of the organization in this particular accounting year, financial year, or the previous years, based on what is needed by the financial information system. Okay, this is a subsystem which mainly assists with the financial information system. So to get the insight of how is the condition of the organization, what decisions has to be taken about a critical problem in the organization, all these things will be supported by the accounting information system. They'll get the financial data from the finance department. Okay. Along with that, the policies about the accounting, which must be taken as the profit, which must be taken as the loss, which must be taken as an asset, which must be taken as a liability. All these policies must be taken care while storing and processing the data in the accounting. Okay. The next is about sources from the tax details. Tax details will be given by the government. What are the different slabs of the tax? What are the categories? What is the percentage of tax? When it must be filled off? When it must be filed? And all those tax details will be collected from the government departments and can be handled by the accounting information system. So they can get the tax details from the various departments of the government, income tax related and other tax related departments from the government, and prepare the tax slabs. And other source for the accounting information system is the working capital. Okay, you know about the working capital. What are the capital that are invested by the organization? All these things are the sources of the accounting information system. Okay. From these sources, various sources, we can collect the information about the account details, how to categorize them, how to manipulate them, and who are all going to need these accounting information. Usually, finance department and the top level management is going to collect the information from the accounting information system. The accounts department and account details were there even before the use of the computers, but ease of work in the account department has been achieved with the help of the information technology by taking all these sources. Now today, all these sources are available in the computer itself, like procedure manual, the balance sheet, financial data, everything you can get in the computer. Some will be from the records of the organization. Some will be through online, some will be through the link of the government departments, and about the details from the working capital from the finance department. So all these details can be collected in the computer itself, and you can store and process the data in the accounting information system, and can assist the accounting department managers or account managers to ease all these tasks with the help of the information technology. Okay, this is all about the accounting information system. We'll get to know about other information system in the next sessions. All right. Thank you.